Right, everybody. Happy Friday, 5th grade. So today what we are going to talk about is we are going to talk about the Constitutional Convention. So the Constitutional Convention was kind of like a meeting, you could think of it, and it was a way for them to create the new rules of the United States of America. Okay. So we talked yesterday about the Articles of Confederation, how that just didn't work very well. So they had to kind of go back to the drawing board and see what changes could they make? Let's see if they can make it better. All right. So, why did the Founding Fathers meet at the Constitutional Convention? To fix the mistakes of the Articles of Confederation. Okay. So that is why they got together at the Constitutional Convention to fix the mistakes of the Articles of Confederation. Okay. The Founding Fathers, now we talk, I use this phrase here. This is a phrase that we use. Put this up here. Founding Fathers. Okay, so the Founding Fathers of the United States are simply the Founding Fathers or Founders, were a group of American leaders who united the 13 colonies, led the war for independence from Great Britain, and became a country pretty much. Okay, so Founding Fathers, they are the leaders who created the United States of America. Okay, so some of the Founding Fathers you can see here. You click on a picture here, there's lots of pictures of them. We have some gentlemen like George Washington, of course, right? We have John Adams, we have Thomas Jefferson, just a lot of people that were very important who kind of helped create the United States of America. Yeah, there's even some memes about it apparently. Very interesting. Yeah. Also the Founding Fathers. There's a couple of them on Mount Rushmore, 2 of them. So one person who's on Mount Rushmore is Abraham Lincoln. He was not a Founding Father. He was the president like close to 100 years after this. So he was not a Founding Father, but that's what they were. They were these people who created the United States of America. They fought in the war. They were the ones who fought and created a country. Okay. So what did they need to do? All right. What did they need to do at this meeting here? Okay. So the first thing is to create some sort of stronger central government. So that kind of means like, like today we would call the central government, we call it like the president and the United States senators and and representatives, the people that are in charge of our country, right? So they need to create a stronger central government, or just answer this question, right? Who is in charge? Okay, who's in charge, right? We talked about how in the Articles of Confederation there was no money for the government. There was no army. It was kind of hard to decide who was in charge of things. So that was really the first question that they needed to ask. Who is in charge? Right? Second thing, very, very important, they needed to find more ways to make money, right? They hated taxes, but they started to realize, it seems like we can't really go without taxes. We have to do taxes somehow. We should make them be fair, right? We should make them so that they're not like way too much for everything like it was with the king. But they needed to find new ways to make money because it was just not working. It was not working to have no money, of course, right? And the third thing was to create an army and become a global leader, right? They wanted to be able to, create a lot of really, of goods and, products, things like corn and different kinds of agriculture, farming and stuff, but also they wanted to create things like paper and be able to sell that to other countries, and they wanted to become a global leader, right? The global leader that we kind of see ourselves as, the United States of America sees ourselves as the leader, that was what they needed to do, right? And they needed to do that by making this new set of rules that are going to help them get there, right? That was their goal. Okay, so just kind of the basic here, Constitutional Convention. This is the last thing for today. Where was it? So this is in Philadelphia, and that is in the state Pennsylvania, which is abbreviated. We'll make it short for PA. Okay. So if I go back to Philadelphia, okay, so you can use an image here from Google Images. You can do maps too. Okay, Philadelphia, right here. Okay, this is where it happened. This is where the Constitutional Convention happened. I don't know exactly where. I wonder if there's like the building is still there. I don't know. Anyway, here is Philadelphia. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of a map. It's up to you. I will take a screenshot of a map. You can also take an image from Google Images. Philadelphia. Insert. Obviously way too big. Okay. So happened in Philadelphia. When was this? This was from May to September. Okay, so about the summer of 1787. Okay. Summer of 1787. That's when it happened. So you can imagine like summertime, Philadelphia, getting together, deciding on the new rules of the United States of America, because the first ones that they tried were not very good. And what did they make? So we're not going to talk too much about this today. We're going to start on Monday talking about the U.S. Constitution. Okay? Now, they created the U.S. Constitution in 1787. This is the set of rules that they decided they were going to use for their new United States country. These are the set of rules that we use today in the United States. Okay? So, about 240 years later, and we're still using the exact same rules. All right, so we'll start talking about them on Monday. We're going to talk about what's inside of them. There's some very important things to remember. It sets up, how are we going to vote for presidents? How are we going to, choose who is in charge of making the rules in our country? Who can vote in our country? Who can, and there's even some additions to the U.S. Constitution called the Bill of Rights that we'll talk about as well, and some extra amendments. Some of these additions have been added, I think the last one was added in the early 2000s. Like, we are still making changes and additions to the Constitution. So we'll start talking about that on Monday. But that was the Constitutional Convention, just kind of a meeting, and they wanted to change the Articles of Confederation and create this new, better set of rules. All right? So on this first slide here, you will see there's kind of a little video about the Constitution, what's in it, how it works, and then also Liberty Kids, as always. All right? Any questions, ask myself. You can always message me on GoGuardian as well if you have any questions.